Most people will work their entire lives and still never be free because they were never taught how to build wealth. They were taught how to stay inside the system. You go to school, you learn discipline, but not risk. You learn how to earn a salary, but not how to create leverage. You're taught how to be safe, but never how to grow. And without realizing it, you end up selling the most valuable thing you have, your time. But some people, despite being born into the same system, notice something different. They stop focusing on money itself and stop paying attention to how money actually moves. Because that's where the real difference begins. Most people earn money, a few people control it, and those are two completely different games. In the real world, wealth is not a reward for hard work. If it were, construction workers would be the richest people alive. But they're not. Because the game isn't built on effort, it's built on systems. And a system is simple. If something can grow without your constant presence, then you've built a system. Now be honest with yourself. If your income stops the moment you stop working, then you don't have a system. You have a job. And being good at a job doesn't make you free, it just makes you a more valuable worker inside the system. So how do some people break out? They realize something early. Life is not a salary game. It's a leverage game. Leverage means creating large outcomes from small inputs. You create one piece of content and millions can watch it. You build one system and hundreds can operate inside it. You create one product and it can be sold thousands of times. That's leverage. But this is where most people fail. They try to start big. They think big, but they don't build small systems. And the truth is, if something can't grow, it's not a system. Think of a simple example. Imagine you're selling a product. If you have to personally reach every single customer, that's a job. But if you can run ads and generate consistent sales without being there, that's a system. That's the difference. And here's the important part. Systems are invisible. People see the results, but they don't see the structure behind them. You look at someone's life and call them lucky. But in reality, they spent years building something no one could see. Another difference is time perspective. Most people think about today, bills, rent, salary, but people who build systems think in years. They make decisions today based on where they want to be in 5 years. That's why they look slow in the beginning, but eventually they accelerate because systems compound. Now here's the real turning point. People often ask, how do I do this? But that's the wrong question. The real question is, can what I'm doing scale? If what you do depends entirely on your effort, it won't scale. But if it can be repeated, delegated, automated, then it can grow. This is where the matrix begins. The matrix is the cycle that keeps you busy but never moves you forward. Your days are full, but your life doesn't progress. You work, but nothing accumulates. You earn, but nothing expands. Because what you're building is not a system, it's a loop. And most people never escape that loop. Because leaving requires risk. It requires uncertainty. It requires patience. And most importantly, there are no guarantees. That's why most people choose to stay inside, but the ones who get out do something different. They find a small entry point, a skill, an idea, a piece of content, something, and then they make it scalable. Someone starts creating videos. At first no one watches, but over time they improve. Then they build a system. Content increases, views grow, income follows. And eventually, they're no longer selling time, they're managing a system. Or someone starts a small business. At first, they do everything themselves, but then they delegate, then they optimize, then they scale, and eventually the business runs without them. That transition is everything, because from that moment on, the game changes. You're no longer earning because you work, you're earning because your system works. But getting there has a cost. In the beginning, you work more, you face uncertainty, you make mistakes, but those mistakes force you to build a system because eventually you have no other choice. And this is what most people don't understand. Wealth is not an event, it's a process. You don't wake up rich one day, but if you build the right system, it becomes inevitable. And one last thing, this is not about motivation. Motivation won't save you, structure will. So if you're still trading time for money, still working just to earn, still building someone else's system, then you're inside the game. But if you've started building something, even something small, that can grow without you, then you're on your way out. Because in this game, the winners are not the ones who work the hardest. They're the ones who build the system. And this is the part where everything either changes or stays exactly the same. Because understanding the system doesn't mean you've escaped it. It just means you can see it now. And once you see it, you start noticing something uncomfortable. Most people are not stuck because they're incapable. They're stuck because everything they do resets every single day. They wake up, they work, they earn, and then it all disappears. Nothing builds, nothing stacks, nothing grows without them, and that's the real trap. So if there is a way out, it has to start with one simple shift. You stop doing things that end, and you start doing things that continue. That's it. Because escaping the system sounds complicated, but the mechanism is actually simple. You replace linear income with repeatable output. That's it. Right now, your life works like this. Time, work, money. You stop, it stops. There is no escape in that model, so the exit is not motivation, it's replacement. You build something that can be used more than once, something that can reach people without you being there, something that doesn't reset every day. Because the moment your effort can be repeated, you've created leverage. And leverage is the only way out. So what does that actually look like? It looks like creating once and being seen many times. It looks like building something small that doesn't disappear tomorrow. It looks like putting something into the world that can move without you pushing it every second. At first, it's slow, nothing happens, no money, no feedback, no proof. But this is the part that filters everyone, because you're no longer working for today, you're building for later. And once that later starts, it doesn't come once, it repeats. And that repetition is the shift, because now your life starts changing in a different way. You're not waking up to start from zero, you're waking up to continue. That's the difference. And once you feel the even once, you understand the entire game. You don't need 10 systems, you need one thing that works without asking you for your time every second, and then you build on top of it slowly, quietly, until one day you realize something has changed. You're no longer trying to escape. You've already stepped out, not completely, but enough to see the path clearly. And from that point on, it's not about if, it's about how far